fall for the next 10 years. So we can see that while we are voicing our opinions to our representatives, the process to get all the way up to make it public law is lengthy. The answer to this jam is simple. Vote in people who care about saving our planet. Don't vote for the people who are in your same political party and share your beliefs when they don't. We need people who can't be bought off by big companies to vote no for policies that would greatly affect their profit margin in their business. Do your research into what they believe and what their plans for the future would be. Once we do get the people into Washington that will vote for saving our planet, then is when we will begin to see new policies for the good of our future. So how do we fix our planet? You've heard the saying that one person can change the world, but do you believe it? Logically, 1 in 8 billion is a micro percentage, but one person could inspire one more, and that can turn into 3, and then 10, and then 20, and so on and on. So let's talk about how we can see our pollution. Everyone has seen pictures and videos of pollution getting into our oceans and on the sides of highways. But how else can we see pollution? Ever seen a factory with a cloud of white smoke coming out of it? Or when it gets cold and you sit in your car to try and warm up, you can see smoke coming out of the tailpipe. What is that? Clean air? Guess again. It's the toxic chemicals mixed in with steam from making cheap plastic materials that is turned into a toxic carbon dioxide and emitted. It's one of the pollutants that's destroying our atmosphere, which protects us from harmful UV sun rays. Not only can we see the changes, but we can feel them. Just a few of the impacts on climate change on our body include cardiovascular failure, respiratory allergies and mental health impacts, heat-related illnesses, and even death. The air we breathe is not a choice. We breathe air naturally. No one can buy the best of air. So how long till our population starts to show the effects of the polluted air we breathe and eating and drinking out of chemically made containers? Watching the news will tell you that the planet is reacting to our pollution and how big our footprint is. How can we see it? The California fires, the hurricanes on the East Coast, floods, tornadoes, and hailstorms. Each year, the extreme weather is getting larger and larger. In 2017 alone, the billion-dollar disasters in America were up to $15 billion for the year. Each year it dips and then it rises, but when it increases, it grows exponentially and it hits the government even harder than before. So, since the US is not the only country in the world, let's look at how other places dealing with climate change and what concerns are. On the chart above, we can see America is the leading and most concern of rising sea levels. Is that due to because most of our populous cities are on the coast? The Middle East is being concerned with their long periods of unusually hot weather when they are already in drought-prone countries. Asia and the Pacific are worried about several floods. That makes sense because in the past 10 years we often see tsunamis and flooding. Multiple years and multiple times in each year. Lastly, both Latin America and Africa both are heavily concerned with water shortages. Being closer to the equator does that. But haven't we already seen these issues in the past? One huge factor of climate change is what it does to our water supply. We have both ends of the spectrum going on. Our polar ice caps are melting, and we also have the third world countries struggling with drought. We can't make new clean water, and the process to desalinate our ocean is lengthy and expensive, with results producing tiny. Even if that was a possible way to survive, how to remove the chemicals that pollute our ocean from leftover trash? So, how do we start changing our extremely harmful habits? Baby steps. You use plastic bottle, recycle it, or better yet, use a reusable water bottle in the first place. You see someone littering? Call them out. Driving somewhere, and so is another person? Carpool. Better yet, walk, ride your bike, skateboard. The reasons are endless. But how do we fix a problem that keeps progressing? We need to cut off the source, which is big businesses. They have money and the influence in government to sway politicians into making new environmental policies that harm our environment. And that is one of the reasons our pollution has skyrocketed. The Union of Concerned Scientists has concluded that 2/3, over 63% of industrial carbon dioxide is from cement production and fossil fuels from 90 companies that are investor-owned, like Chevron and ExxonMobil. Big businesses are being sued for their involvement in destroying communities. In California, San Francisco, and Oakland, have 5 different fossil fuels companies being sued for climate damage in their cities. It will be a new type of lawsuit in the courts and will make a precedent for future. Our government is in gridlock. How does the government pass a policy that is a twisted maze that's not even able to get to the first few levels? Our policies should be able to keep up with our rapid changing conditions. A few policies that should be implemented are as follows: a mandatory infrastructure upgrade, a cutoff of timber harvesting in the tropics, and incentivizing clean policies for American citizens. According to the Scientific American, building worldwide contribute to 1/3 of all greenhouse gas emissions, which is 42% in the US alone. By building energy efficient buildings, we can cut down our greenhouse emissions and have cost-saving benefits too. By cutting off the timber harvesting in the tropics, we could stop 1.5 billion carbon entering our atmosphere. Then, by incentivizing American citizens to have clean policies like keeping their energy bill low and getting back money for recycling and using solar power grids instead of fossil fuels, is a way for citizens to do their part in saving the environment. We need to start efficiently making changes to our planet to survive. We are the generation responsible for changing. Time for slacking and ignoring the problem is over. The domino effect, we need one person to fall and the whole thing will come together. Thank you.